But no, Beth, your goes crashing down. Determination, the suffering, the ability to... And she's unleashed everything in this attack. See just how much that win means to him. All the marbles. Kayla versus Allison and to the line. Kayla Laguna takes the victory. Hello everybody and welcome to week 3 of the CVRcade Derny Cup, where physical riders and non-physical riders come together, team up, and their points combine towards the overall rankings. It's time to find who is the most gelled team out on CVRcade. The last 2 weeks have been good. Week 1, it was velocity night and day. I think it was actually morning. We called it night and day, but on the next week we fixed it. We called it morning. It was Team Cycling Hub. They have now changed to Team Cycling 2.0. It was the Hive Hornets, and recently we've seen a few other teams in there with the Cockmasters. We've seen Velocity Haas and Skillpen. We're still missing the Flying Dutchman, Peter Kastrup. We've got Queen Bee tonight. We got Terminal Velocity tonight. This will be fun to see which team, keyboard player and cyclist, will come together and perform to the best. Streaming in from across the world today, we've got Jeff Rooney, who's been doing his due diligence. He was warming up. I saw him on keyboard much earlier here, but he's ready to go. He's teaming up with the Swedish chef. He's got Carl Axel Sander, who recently has been going very, very strong. He almost single-handedly won them week 1. He'll be seeing if he can do similar here in week 3. We've got Casey Shum, one half of Team Cycling Up. He's ready to go. Still recovering for his antics the other day on the recumbent bike. We've got his teammate, Quinton Molyneux, who arguably has been one of the better non-physical riders. Can he keep up that form? We'll have to wait and see. We have got Sebastian Kuhn in here as well, who has been making the highlights in the last few days. You can see him ready to go. He's got the music running. He's teaming up with Homer Thompson, who is riding in Cyclogent merch today. Deploy every day. And there couldn't be a more accurate phrase for Homer Thompson. Whenever there's a race, just press execute. There's Homer Thompson in the racing. Timothy Tamont is also in the broadcasting today. One half of the Hive Hornets, teaming up with Glenn, who's out on track as well, out on the map. And then rounding off the broadcasting, we've got Jennifer Garcia, member of Queen Bee. She's out here with Kayla Laguna. We've got Jennifer making a return here to the streaming. Jennifer, what's it like to be back?
So good. I'm so happy to be here today. I'm really, really excited for these races. I'm really excited for Uncrashable and Sci-Fi R especially, having that later down the road through these races. So we'll see.
We will see. 40 seconds to go. Thank you, Jennifer. Those are our racers on display here. We're going to have 4 races today. We're going to have Kayla's Mountain Track, which we're on currently. We're going to go to Temple Run, the one that most of the riders are going to be looking towards. We got Sci-Fi R Loop, as Jennifer mentioned. Uncrashable is on, so they don't really have to worry about, you know, coming through the corner into the Garcia corner. They will stay upright, and we finish on Barnyard Velo. And throughout the last 2 days, I have seen countless riders spend time on Barnyard Velo. We're racing for $30 today for first, 20 for second, 15 for third, 10 for fourth, and 5 for fifth place. And the racers are off. For Team Hive, Timothy Tamont here is ready to go as we see him attacking on through. We've got Vibeke Bertram as well, who's hitting it up on the front as we currently have the racing get underway here. I am just adjusting, if I can, the scoreboard, as you can see down the left hand corner, to see if we can match it up. We were changing a few things earlier. We'll see if we can get it right in. We'll try and see if we can make it as good as possible for the time being, but I just see that, so you must take our apologies. But the racing remains and the racing gets underway regardless. So this is what happens when you may have noticed lately in the stream that every time you come in, small bits and pieces gets adjusted, and with it sometimes you bring in amazing things, or sometimes, because now it's annoying me, that scoreboard, sometimes it changes. But don't worry, we've got plenty of streaming here today, and we are going to make sure that is solved. You can see Jennifer here on the screen. It's the low skill event. Homer has been distanced. Vibeke has been distanced. Now she is only half a team here today, as her teammate Peter Castro is still out with illness. Half of Queen Bee, Kayla Laguna is down here. Sebastian Kuhn is down here. Jeff Rooney is down here. Beth York is down here. The majority of the non-physical keyboard riders are all down here in the chasing group. Glenn has made it to the front. We've got Quentin in the front. So the only two riders that have made this initial surge. As you can see, Quentin, he's got the beanie on, the Cycling Hub beanie here, trying to see. We've got the Hive kit that's now recently been introduced into the game as well. It's good to see that that's making the rounds in there. Joining us in the chat as we're halfway through the racing, we got Venom, we got Lantra, we got Fulford, we got Mansuni, we got Allison, we got Nils in here as well, we got Nigel, we got Dudat Athlete, Termont, Glenn. The chat is alive. There's 1.2 kilometers remaining here. Next time we cross the start-finish banner, it will mark the last lap of racing. We've got the side-by-side coming up on this one. I'm somewhat happy to see on this one that the scoreboard is actually displaying much simpler. So there is some sort of redemption out there, as Wim is in the chat. Hey, DJ is there as well. Casey with the wind blowing on his shirt. We've got Carl Axel Sander on the right here with the hat on. Last lap coming up. It is a one-time scoring multiplier, but you have two riders scoring, so it is quite important to take home as many points as possible. In the last 2 weeks, we've seen it come down to 10, 15, 20 points at the top here. Who is going to be the first one to go here in the front? Lantrell, I'll get to your question in just a second because it is heating up on the front. 500 meters. Carl, looks like he's relatively fatigued already here in the sprint. Hasn't even begun yet. 300 meters. You've got 7 riders. Jennifer, Timothy, Casey, Carl, Quentin, Christian, and one more in this front group. There goes Christian. Christian is the first one to launch. Coming through the group, Timothy Tamont with 1,500 equalized watts, and Casey throws everything onto it. He's got the inside line, but Timothy still in the lead. And it is Timothy Termont taking first place on this one. Hive Hornets, I think, were first and maybe third or fourth over the line here. Timothy with a strong start, 49 points to them. Velocity, Night and Morning with 39. Got Queen Bees, 37. Strong performance, Cycling Out 37. Very close here. Then we've got the final sprint here. Sebastian versus Vibeke with Homer down here as well. Let's see who can win this sprint. We got Sebastian pressing down on the plus button. He comes around Vibeke, but it's going to get close to the line. Sebastian Kuhn takes the win on this one. We're going to head to the next track, the next map as we load up the replay. But we do also have the possibility of talking to Timothy Tamont. Timothy, first race down there, 1,400 equalized watts. And we saw you move 2 lanes over. Why did you do that?
Hey Jesper, good evening. Yeah, it's the same thing I did Tuesday for the solo cup. Like, I sprinted a little bit too soon, so they'll just drop behind me, swing by, so I had to change 1 lane over. But I did it before the corner, so the other riders had the inside lane, but I had enough speed to keep them away. And a final little push after the corner got me that win. Very good start. I won the physical, Glenn won the keyboard, first of the keyboard. So yeah, let's do this. 1 down, 2 ready to go.
Well, good evening to you as well here, Timothy. Glenn is in here, 49 points. We got Temple Run coming up next. Good luck, Timothy. Strong performance from you in this first race. Second place currently on the leaderboard, as you can see, is Velocity Night and Day. Let's go and chat to Carl Axel Sander as he, I think... Let's try and see if he's got his headphones on, if Carl can currently hear me. Let's try and turn on Carl's audio. Hey, Carl, can you hear me?
All right, so should we do it?
I don't think. I think he's got his audio in the chat here. I think he's chatting strategy with Jeff. I wonder if Jeff is telling him. So you do need to have audio available in order to get bonus points. And I don't think this classifies as bonus points for Carl, but the jury will have a look. Carl now puts on his headphones. Can you hear me, Carl?
Yeah, Jeff told me you was talking to me. And I was
you gotta keep those close by. You know, week 1 you were on fire. Week 2 we missed you. You're back here in week 3. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm looking forward. I think this is my favorite CVRcade World Cup event of the week. I'm loving the Derny, whole array of different kind of tactics you have to discuss and plan for. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Especially this one and the next one, a bit longer and more suitable for tactics and team trial and that kind of stuff. So yeah, looking forward to it.
What's it like? You and Jeff, have you been practicing together? Because week 1, Jeff was a bit behind. Have you been giving him some tips, some tricks? Have you been training together?
Oh yeah, I think it's actually mostly him giving me the tips. So on how we can work together. So yeah, we have some plans for this race and next race. Yeah, hopefully we both can finish up in the top this time.
Well, good luck, Carl. Good luck, Jeff, here as the next race gets ready. We got Kayla and Jennifer here in 3rd place. We've already heard from Jennifer. I want to go hear from Casey Shum because they're tied now 3rd and 4th. Casey, Carl says this is his favorite cup of the week. What do you feel is your favorite?
Oh, is that for me? My favorite? Probably
Yes.
the World Cup. I like the team racing. I like supporting the teammate and working together, doing it intentionally. I might feel like we're really good at that, and that just gives us an even more of an advantage. So this is fun, though. It's just different here. It's adapting to different racing than what we normally do. So it's good.
You have Quinton in here. You're probably one of the 2 pre-race favorites. Do you like that sort of pressure? Because like whatever race you enter, whatever race Quinton enters, you guys always seem to be the favorites. What's it like coping with that level of expectation?
It's just normal because that's the way it is every race we enter. So it's not different for us.
Got it. It must be nice. It must be nice. Well, we got Casey in here getting ready. 1 minute and 45 seconds until the next race begins. We have not yet heard from Sebastian or Homer, so let's go and hear from Seb, because Seb is going to have some banging tunes going on. He's already rocking. Seb, what's the music lessons of the week you can teach me?
Fast, loud, fast music, fast riding.
That is
my plan.
Mantra.
That's my plan.
What song, what band is it this week? It was the Ramones last week. What is it this week?
Now it is Bastard Case from School Damage.
Bastard Cage from School.
Bastard Case.
That just sounds like some made-up words put together to make up a sentence. I'm not sure what they were thinking, but knowing you, Seb, last week, Blitzkrieg Bob, I've been listening to it ever since, so I will go and listen to it after. Seb Kuhn, everybody. Next racing gets underway in 45 seconds. As Nigel points out in the chat, I'm not a member of any team, guys. I wear Velocity because it was a gift sent to me by Ryan Goldenberg. It is a team that I hold near and dear because my good friend Beth York is on the Cade Corner podcast. I wear it just because it was a nice gift. I mean, if you want to send me a Cognition shirt, if you want to send me a Team Hive shirt, I will gladly wear it whenever I am racing. I think it's very clear from the earlier broadcasting today that I did over on Facebook. No one's going to want me on their team. I'm just good at talking it out. 10 seconds to go. It is tied on the top. We have got 3 laps of tempo run coming up next here. 2 weight lifted, 2 wind at your back, 2 racers edges. Let's see who's going to attack in this one and go. And for glory, I did see a question from DK Mansuni in the chat saying, what is it with no abilities for the next zone and the later zone? Well, we're trying to make it non-physical. We're trying to cater it towards Xbox players. And having a low skill event with all abilities on doesn't quite make sense when you're trying to play it out from Xbox. So I hope that does make sense, DK. You have the power-ups, but wherever there's an ability, it has been taken away. The racing here has begun though. 14.1 kilometers is left. Jennifer Garcia here. A strong performance out of the gate as her and Kayla Laguna making up the Queen Bees here. Getting out strong on Kayla's mountain track. How will they fare here? As it is 4 riders on the front. You've got Jeff and Carl here off to a strong start together. They are first, they are fourth here. Then you've got Christian Weidman. He's looking over the shoulder. Where is Beth York? Where is Terminal Velocity? But look at this. Speak of the devil, they're going on to the attack here as Carl Axel Sander moves up here on the right hand side. You can see the scoreboard down in the bottom left of what the remainance of it. You got 172.3 for Velocity Night and Morning. Hive Hornets 127.8. You got Kayla, Jennifer 119.5. Terminal Velocity 117.1. Women saying, can we get the mini map on screen? I think we still have it in here. Can we have a look here if we still have it? Pop it up to the top. We do not. It cuts away. So we did change a few things, Wim, and that may have gone away. So to give you a bit of insight, we had one of our presets here in the broadcast corrupt. So overnight I had to redo most of it. So I do apologize. That was added, but it seems to have gone away in the oversight as we rebuilt everything. So sorry about that, Wim, but I'm sure we can make something up here in the replay so we can get something for you in the next race here. So we are on the ascent here of Temple Run Hill. So you've got Timothy in the group. We look on down. You got Quentin down in 10th. We got Sebastian down in 12th. We got Beth York down in 13th as well. So Sebastian is one half of the Cockmasters. How are they going to attempt this one? You would assume eventually Homer Thompson would start to feel some of the fatigue from riding every single racing zone, riding every single rise and rip there is. But no, man, that Homer just keeps on riding. Sebastian is in 12th. We've got Glenn and Quinton in 9th and 10th here. So but what we're seeing is a reversement of the previous race. It was Glenn, it was Quinton as the single riders on the front, but now it is Vibeke, it is Jeff who are taking up the front here. So it is a one long line here, as I think Quinton might be saving a bit of his fatigue here to use it at the right time on the keyboard to move on up. Quinton, you shake your head. Why is that?
There's not really any point or any way to save fatigue. Me and Glenn were approached to make sure that we don't abuse a certain bug apparently in-game before we started today. And I saw that Vibeke did exactly that, so apparently we were the only ones that were approached by it. So that's why we're off the back.
Got it. Well, Quinton is moving off the back here, and Quinton is in 9th. We'll see if he's able to recover going forward here. As Casey is in 5th, Glenn is up in 4th, Jeff is moving up with Christian Whiteman as well. You got Neil saying bring back the minimap. Nigel saying unfortunately I have to go to work. Go Team Velocity. I hope to see you back later today, Nigel, as the racing is Zone T. I hope we get to see you on a keyboard or a controller with the rest of us as we come through the Tamont's tiers, as I think it was Moti Pikelny who named the tier, the waterfall at the top of Temple Run Hill. But the racing is close near the top here. We bring up the scoreboard and you can see the riders move on through here. As you can see, it is a few riders to the left. It is Casey being distanced ever so slightly here, as he's got to fight to get back on. He's got his helper, his non-physical rider, 3 seconds behind him here. So if Quentin can get back here, he'll be able to help out as they move on through. Glenn has come back though. Glenn is in 2nd here. So he's moved his way up through the rankings here, and from being further down with Quentin, he has fought his way back to the top here. It is a big group. It is a rather collective group on the road here. One lap is coming to a close here, and no one has really attempted to attack yet except for the opening stages of the race, where Velocity Vixen attempted a move on the rest as a collective unit, but it looks like that has not paid off here. Velocity night and day, and you have half of Velocity Hasn't Skill Pen and half of the Terminal Velocity team. They have come to the front here. It's Casey on the left, Timothy on the right here. It is good to see the new Hive kit in the game. I saw Badger earlier today with 3R, and I saw Ryan Goldenberg as well with the Mito, Team Mito kit. So new jerseys, new rides have been, new skins have been available in the latest update that's hit CVRcade. There's a crash coming. Carl goes down. Another rider up the road was just saved. Christian goes down. Bring that one up on the replay because Carl realizes there's a crash coming here. He's on the wrong side of Casey and he has to move. You'll see here Casey moving on through. Carl on the inside here. He does not have to move left. Casey sees it. He stays in his lane. And Carl Axel Sander. Jennifer goes down. Kayla goes down. That is 100% of the Queen Bees taking each other out in the same corner on the descent here. Incredible how not only one but two riders go down at the same time as Homer drives on by saying slow but steady. As you can see the scoreboard changing down in the bottom left hand corner. 181.5, 159, 127. All changing as it is your top two scorers, and Quinton has come back here on the front. So despite being down earlier, he's now returned here. He bumps into Timothy. He doesn't crash. He stays upright, and we've got two of the teams that we expected to see strong things from here in week 3 of the CVRcade Derny Cup, making up the front four as Jeff is here, Sepp is here, Christian goes down again. The terminal velocity, well, the not so terminal velocity has gone down at the back. You got Dude That Athlete saying Queen Bees were exterminated. Mutt KG with a yikes. Super Marine Spitfire with an F. As we see Sebastian coming on through here. Seb, it looks like the music is paying off. You're actually in the front. What is that, Seb?
Go out of my way!
It's almost like the Tour de France caravan came by there for a second. I was waiting for goodies to be thrown around. I mean, where's the snacks, Sepp?
I have no goodies to throw around. I want points.
Sepp hungry for points. I mean, always a pleasure. You never ever know what Sepp is going to bring out. Kayla is loving it. Tay is hey DJ, everybody. But it is still together. It's Timothy on the front here with Glenn still moving on up. We've got 7 riders. Carl has come back from his crash here. And we look at the scoreboard. This is one of the highest scoring multipliers at 2.5. So you got to fight on through. Then you don't really get a rest because Cypher R Loop is up next, but it's a 1.5 scoring multiplier. And then whatever Carnage brings on Barnyard Velo, you've got to be ready for it. Quinton and Casey, Team Cycling Hub, have teamed up here on the right. It's Casey on the front, leading out the non-physical rider on the back here. As you can see, Quinton and Timothy, 185. Timothy moves up here on the left. While this is happening, guys, Glenn is 10 seconds up the road. Glenn is 10 seconds up the road here. So Glenn has just moved on through. He's gone away from everybody. He's non-physical. He's on a keyboard. And he is poised right now to take the top point. But he did use his supers. I saw him use a weight lifted, a wind at his back, and a racer edge. So one rotation at least has been used to create this separation. But further back, at 95 equalized heart rate, 96 now, Sebastian Kuhn and his horn says, get out of my way, get out of my way. I've got to make it to the front here as he accelerates, he pushes on. But what this is also doing, he's getting points for himself and his team, but Homer's down in 12th place. So Homer's got to fight to get back on. He's at 182. He's with Jennifer Garcia, with Christian Whiteman, with Vibeke Bertram, with Beth York. So Homer could get some points here for that team, and everybody's going to keep fighting through as Vibeke on her keyboard just overcooks the corner and she goes down. But right now, Thanks to Glenn's performance on the keyboard, the Hive Hornets are 40 points ahead of Velocity Night and Morning as Sebastian goes. 366, well, he goes as quickly as he can when that his back has been activated. 20 km/h tailwind for 10 seconds, but he didn't quite get anywhere. But now he has managed a tiny bit of a gap, and Timothy is right on the wheel here. So Timothy and Sebastian are moving on up here, and nobody's reacting just yet. Quentin is down there. Carl's coming through. You got Jeff and Carl. Let's go to Jeff, because we do have Jeff available on audio. Jeff, team captain of Velocity Night and Morning. What's the situation like?
Well, it's not too bad. We've got Glenn up the road, but we've gapped a few people, and I'm still there, so that's a good start for me.
I was going to say, impressive performance. Carl's even crashed once here, Jeff. This could be the day you take the top spot, but how worried are you about Glenn and the 13-second gap he's got?
That's amazing skill. I'm struggling just to stay with the group, let alone get ahead. But if he's used a set of power-ups, that's a bit. I saw Seb's used his power-up, so he must be worrying a little bit. Because his keyboard skills are quite good too. So.
Everybody has come on up, Jeff, but it brings me joy to see you in 7th place, but hopefully at the end it'll be higher than 7th, but good luck coming on through to the end here. Jeff in full kit, making sure that he gets bonus points for matching kit. Even brought out the cap going, look at me, I've got the cap on. You gotta give me those 10 extra bonus points. DK says, now we can't study corner speed anymore. DK, don't worry. You should join the Rise and Rip morning rides with Beth York. I know Wim Moisten has been doing it, and they've been talking some corner speed, some strategies. So if you want to get some extra inside knowledge, you've got to go to Beth York's class, and we got some good information there that you can be shared with the Xbox or riders. We do also have some maps with corner speeds are going to be made available. Some of the most basic maps, such as Aqua Velo and Mountain Bike by Jesper, and then you can go and go on an adventure yourself to try and figure out the rest. Casey and Quentin here, 5th and 6th. They are lining up. Currently, they're 4th on the scoreboard, so they move up to 3rd, 127 points here, so they are not out of contention yet here, but they would be 50 points down if it was to end like this. Let's go to Timothy, who's currently in 4th here, and you can see him moving up. He's a 175. Timothy, you've got Glenn up the road here. You're sitting good yourself. How's the pressure like?
Oh, I'm just controlling the race here. Carl just tried to attack, and Sebastian was kind of, I'm not saying blocking, but he was kind of slowing down. So, yeah, I had to react to Carl there, but I'm on the wheel. We'll be fine.
We'll be fine. Timothy Tamund in there. I want to get a rebuttal from Sebastian because, Seb, I'm not sure if that was an accusation of blocking. It kind of sounded like it. Was that your intention?
I did not block. He's streaming. I slowed down not to slide out in the corner.
There, you got it. Sebastian slowing on down. Maybe Timothy did save himself, but you never know. You never know. But Glenn again with another super combination here on the front, on the keyboard, pushing on through here. His gap is out to 20 seconds, but he's used all his supers. Except for one, I think. All his supers, bar one, the weight lifted. As Jeff goes down. Oh, Jeff Rooney in the corner here. Jeff, what happened?
I'm not even sure.
Somebody's got to bring VAR up. I think you may have either slid into the inside. Sorry?
I had clear lane. I was under speed. I don't know.
Oh,
well.
Jeff. You can make it back. It's still 7th. You're 4th place. Only 30 points down. Come on, Jeff. Time to ride the horse all the way to the back. I'm sure it will help. But further up, the situation that's unfolding now is that Casey Shum and Quentin Molyneux has ridden into 2nd place on the overall, but it's Quentin on the front and it is Casey down here with Sebastian Kuhn 5th and 6th. I wonder if Sepp is going to lend a helping hand here because he's on a keyboard and he may or may not help. Casey doesn't want to take it anyway. He accelerates over the top here. He goes by Sebastian, and we are on the last lap. This is the last lap of racing here on Temple Run for Zone K. And right now, Hive Hornets, thanks to Glenn, with Timothy covering moves, are in pole position. But there are so many supers left untouched in this chasing group. Carl has got his, Quinton has got his, Casey has got his. So this gap may not be enough here, as we've got Carl Axel Sander. You heard Timothy say already one attack here. Now Quinton goes, and Timothy is trying to mark it down. Quinton on a keyboard here. Timothy physical. It's been a long, hard set of laps here, and now you got to come to the end. Timothy stands up, weight lifted. He pushes on through here. He's got to be careful. Does he trust Quinton? Ooh, everybody gets around Quinton. On the inside is Carl. On the outside is Timothy. And there goes Carl Axel Sander. And Jeff will be kicking himself right now. If he wasn't crashed, if he didn't crash, he could have been up here. He could have been following this move. But that's why the Omnium setup is quite excellent, because one mistake does not make the end of your day. There's 2 more races up after this. CVR Loop, 3 laps, and then we've got Barnyard Velo, so plenty of racing remaining here. But it's Carl Axel Sander, 17 seconds up to Glenn here. You can see the time gap closing down ever so slightly. Now Seb with another weight lifted, but whenever Seb uses a super, he doesn't really go far. He doesn't accompany it with some wattages. So maybe as he stares intently on the screen, the rider moves even quicker. Seb, you gotta have some more encouraging words with your rider.
My rider is sleeping, I think. He has no headphones on.
Well, you gotta have the horn. I think you gotta push him, to go even faster here. Clearly needs to go into training camp, but Carl has attacked away here, and it's closing down the gap to 32 points here between Hive Hornets and Velocity Night and Day. But since it's the 2 scores that count, anything can really happen. If one of the riders has an off performance, if one of the riders crashes on Barnyard Velo, 10 laps is tough to make up here. So you've got to utilize, you've got to optimize every single point that you can take or get given out on this map here. There's 2.4 kilometers to go. Glenn is the sole rider up in the front, as we've got Carl Axel Sander, Sebastian Kuhn chasing this one down, as we're going to see what Glenn can bring here to the finish line. He's been excellent so far, but at the back, a second we cut to Glenn. It's Timothy, it's Quinton, it's Jeff who's come back, and they both dodge the Cognition rider. They dodge Sebastian Kuhn there. They go left, they go right. Neither of them gets blocked, and they've got Carl Axel Sander in their sights. They're trying to catch on up. What's Casey got left? Casey too is at 195 as Quinton passes Timothy on the outside. He's trying to shut the door on him. He does not get in front of him. So it's not that move he's going to pull off here. But I think Quinton, as Casey comes on through as well, Casey with a wind at his back, 20 kilometers an hour here, he moves on up, and it gives a few points back to Cycling Hub 2.0. If they can catch Carl here, that would be quite significant in the points differential. So we'll see. 5 seconds is the difference currently, as Casey stays on it here. This is a tricky descent when Uncrashable is not activated as an ability. And we see Casey push on through here. Casey with his weight lifted, 30 kilograms lighter for 10 seconds. He's keeping Quinton behind him. Timothy might be struggling a tiny bit here, as Sebastian, as Jeff are catching on off. Beth has had a brilliant second half of tempo run as well, as she's coming back. Here goes Casey. 1 kilometer to go for Glenn. Glenn will not be caught if he doesn't crash. If he keeps the rubber side down, Glenn of the Hive Hornets will win this one with brilliantly timed attacks, and is just stuck with it. But we've got a sprint finish for second place coming up here between at least 3 riders. Timothy Tumont, Casey Shum, and Carl Axel Sander. 600 meters remain here. You can see the number 7 on the screen is Timothy Tamont of the Hive Hornets. He's got 1 and 2 ahead of him in his sights as Quinton goes. All 3 of his supers. We look from above. You can see him enter the screen now in the top left here as he's going significantly faster. 7th, he hits it! Timothy Tamont hits the block on Quinton Molyneux from 70 kilometers an hour down to 40. And just like that, Timothy shuts the door. That could have been massive because I feel like Quinton could perhaps have come through, caught up to Casey, and maybe made a run for Carl Axel Sander. But without those supers, that will be a daunting task as we have. It is Glenn who comes across the line here. You can see him up here to the right. He's about to cross the finish line. Great victory for Hive Hornets single-handedly. Make sure to give him a round of applause here in the chat as Carl Axel Sander versus Casey Shum here. He moves on through. He's got a 2-second gap, 3-second gap. He looks to the right. He looks to the riders nearby list. He's got the finish line beckoning, but neither of them are opting to sprint all out for this one. Secondary positions, Timothy versus Quinton. Timothy with a super. And this leaves Hive Hornets 30 points ahead of Velocity Night and Morning. Jeff with an excellent 6th place. Sebastian can be proud of his 7th place. The keyboard players have really been upping their game here as Homer down with a racer's edge. He's fighting with Vibeke, with Kayla, with Beth to try and salvage some points here. Christian had a few. Homer's coming too quick here. Homer, oh, he breaks down just in time. But he was coming into that corner extremely hot. I think he wants this sprint. I think Homer, we're seeing a different side of Homer here. Hungry Homer with the wind at his back, sprinting 600, 800, and Vibeke will give him nothing. And just like that, Vibeke crosses across the line. 50 seconds down is Jennifer, but let's go and have a look at the instant replays once again, because what a set of races here we've had so far. 2 brilliant races, and we're not even done yet. As we watch the highlight, Timothy, 2 things. First of all, Glenn, how did he do that? And secondly, what a block, man. What a block.
Yeah, oh, my headset's about to die. I'll make it quick. Glenn, yeah, he was pulling out the front, but I was struggling. I was really struggling following his wheel. So I said, okay, I'm leaving a gap. You keep going. He used a few power-ups, got an initial gap, kept it going. I slowed a little bit on the front, put them asleep, and by the time they started chasing, he was gone. So, yeah, and then it was just a matter of trying to get second, which I failed at miserably. I think I got 4th or something. But, yeah, the block on Quinton was necessary, to say the least. Was that 30k difference an hour? But it was just a small payback because he did the same to me like a minute beforehand. But it wasn't that. It wasn't 30k difference, but it was just a little block there. So, yeah, that's the race.
Sci-Fi R-Loop coming up next. Uncrashable
Yes.
as the ability. Good luck, Timothy. I know your headset is about to die. Make sure to recharge it when we come to you later in the racing. Velocity Night and Day have taken the 2nd place out here. Carl Axel Sander. If Jeff is out there, remind him to put on his headphones or keep them on when the racing is live. The race commissioners are watching. There you go, Carl. I mean, except for that one crash, Carl, that was pretty flawless.
I was a bit worried in the end though, because I had wasted too many power-ups. First in the start, and then in the catch-ups, I was a bit worried. Casey and Timothy and the rest was gonna fly by in the last few Ks in the descent. But it was okay. I was very happy for that second.
Now, Carl, 2nd place here, Sci-Fi R-Loop. I know you like the Derny Cup. I know you like the racing. What about this map? What do you think of this map?
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be. Oh no, it's definitely like a power course. We had done crashable, so otherwise, this is a bit tricky. The 3 last corners in the end are interesting in a way, but now it's gonna be like establishing the breakaways and have mind game, having others taking the chase and so on. So yeah, it's gonna be the most interesting because I think the keyboard riders are gonna do pretty well here. It's a fairly long race and no hills, So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Good luck in this one, Carl. I can't wait to see what you bring. Let's go and hear from Casey Shum, because Casey and Quentin together fought on that last one. They do find themselves on the back foot. Casey, from your point of view, were you satisfied with how Temple Run went down in the end?
I mean, I'm not unhappy with my effort. I set a PR, so I think everybody else has a good training plan going on, because setting a PR and being off the back, I don't know if that's the new equalization stuff or what's going on there, but I mean, I'm going to give it my all and see how this one goes. But yeah, I didn't have it to stay with them today.
Well, sometimes you've got it, sometimes you don't, but one thing you do have is the mindset, the ability to know the maps, and I think, Casey, once you come into this one, you come into Barnyard Velo, I think you will come into your own. Far from over yet, 1 minute and 30 remain. Let's get a word from Jennifer Garcia, because they started out strong in the first one, but then, Jennifer, you and Kayla somehow managed to take each other down simultaneously. How?
Yes. We are very infamous for that at this point. I think it's been like 3 or 4 races that we've done it. I couldn't even tell you how. It's just something we're good at. So that was a little rough just because we were doing well in the front there, but we're still in 4th. So we know the big multiplier is there at the end, but I'm going to push it in this one and see what we can do.
Well, at least on this one, you have Uncrashable as an ability, so if you're able to take each other down, I think everybody used to go home. That's it, game over. Good luck. Good luck, Jennifer.
Exactly. Thanks.
Good luck, Kayla, here on Sci-Fi R Loop. I see everybody in the chat is a bit spicy today. You're enjoying it. I think it's good. I think as we near the grand finale, where the prize purse is $1,700 for the winner, $1,000 for the second, $400 for the third, $250, $150, $100 for sixth. You can feel it. It's heating up. It's getting spicy. You've got the Solo Cup, the World Cup. The overall prize purse is $30,000. Everybody's getting stronger, as you heard Casey say as well. I'm excited to see what this is going to be as we go forward. Because, I mean, right now, you look at the scoreboard. Hive Hornets, Velocity Night and Morning. You got Cycling Up 2.0. This race, even though it only has a 1.5 scoring multiplier, I think it could be detrimental to how the racing unfolds. So you can bring 1 and 2 here, 1 and 3, 1 and 4. That is a massive gap in the points here as we get underway. Timothy looks down here, shifting into gear. You got Jeff in second, Carl with an underdog, but he comes back and he becomes solid. The second his underdog runs out, all the speed he gained gets neutralized just like that. But it is Vibeke at 600 equalized watts pushing off the front here. Now, Vibeke is on her own. Vibeke Bertram does not have Peter Kastrup out here. She's still eligible to score points, but she is half the points available because she's missing her partner in crime, who is still out with illness. If you're watching this, Peter, we hope that you get well soon and we get to see you back. But we're only 40 seconds into the race here, and Jennifer Garcia is already at 196 equalized heart rate. So she wanted to make sure that she was in the front of the racing here. But how much energy has she spent to make sure that that's the case? Because if someone goes over the top right now, it will be tough to react to it. Some of the victims here early on in the racing. Timothy is 2 seconds down here as we look at the back of the group. He's sitting in here trying to get a bit of the drafting. He's got to be careful. Sebastian Kuhn on a keyboard. His equalized heart rate has come down 20 equalized beats here as he is. Seb, you got to get back in there. You need to bring your rider to training camp.
My rider will not get a new contract.
That is very clear. But Sebastian Kuhn here trying. I mean, that is something I think we need to test. The closer you are to the screen, the quicker, the faster your rider moves in the game. As we got Carl here on the left, Timothy on the right. Timothy, I'm not sure, what are you trying to say here? Oh, Timothy doesn't have his headphones on. They've run out of battery. So we can't even go to him here. Carl and Timothy. I think Timothy was trying to tell everybody to take turns, as Timothy is 4th up the road. Glenn, Vibeke, Casey are all moving up here, as it is Casey 3 seconds up the road here, and he's trying to make a move. He's trying to create a gap here. As you can see, KG saying, it is nice to see all of Timothy's head. That is definitely a different sight that we're not used to seeing. There used to be a massive headset on there. But Casey Shum, Glenn moving on up here. Quinton Molinez is down in 4th place. Looking at the scoreboard, scoring 67.5 points here is Hive Hornets. Now, how high... Oh, we gotta watch out here. It is... Oh, never mind. Uncrashable is an ability. Garcia corner has been neutralized for everybody to swing on through. But Casey wants to catch up to Glenn here. He wants to close down this and go on the attack. But on the first event, Hive Hornets scored 49 points. And the second one, 127.5. I think Casey's saying go up the road here. And this one, it is Cycling Hub and Hive Hornets differentiated by 1.5 point currently as they stand up. They get ready to push again. You can see Casey here on the left trying to close down the gap. Get on the wheel so he can get the highest possible draft here. As terminal velocities, Christian Weidman is 1 second down. He's doing a good job as well on his own of closing down the gap as his teammate. He's lost Beth York, so Beth doesn't seem to be at the front here. We will see. Earlier, Lancero asked, who do you predict as the outrunners? Who do you see as the outsiders for a potential upset here today? I would have said terminal velocity, but that would have been incorrect at this point. Christian has been strong. I'm not sure where Beth York is currently. Thinking as a potential upset. I mean, velocity, there's no really, Lancero, there's no upset. This is the CVRcade Derny Cup. There are 7 incredibly strong teams taking to the start line here. Anyone winning from these 7 teams, you'd go, of course they're going to win. But right now, Glenn moving on up, 367 here. Casey is chasing it down. This does give Timothy the luxury of trying to sit on and mark the moves. But as you can see, Timothy looks like he's suffering here. There is the possibility of starting to put a nail in the coffin on the Hive Hornet member here. You got Casey on the left, who's in 3rd. You've got Timothy Tamont, who is 2 seconds down. As we've got Jennifer with a wind at her back, super down in 10th. She tries to move on up, but she's in no man's land. Homer is 2 seconds behind her. Sebastian Kuhn is 4 seconds ahead of her. So no one around here, but it is still a close battle if you look at the scoreboard. 239 for Hive Hornets, 202 for Velocity Night and Morning, 196 for Team Cycling Hub, Terminal Velocity 158, the Kayla and Jennifer team 151, the Cogmasters are at 148.2. It's close, guys. Like, I reckon on Board Yard Velo, once we see the final distribution of points, this could very much come down to a 5-6 point deficit between 1st and 2nd place here in Sci-Fi R Loop. Now, this hill, there is a hill here. This is a steep gradient that you don't really notice until you are on about 2-3%. That fake little incline that you think, oh, this is flat, then you get on and you're like, what? My trainer is changing resistance? Oh, it is a hill. As we see Casey here, maybe a bit of fatigue. He rode really hard on Tuesday. Maybe some of that is starting to creep in here, but would never count out. You know, class can survive anything. I think Casey, if he sticks his mind to it here, I think he's going to be able to push on through and come around here at the end. But he's got Carl moving up. He's got Timothy. He's got Sebastian behind him with Quinton currently in 5th. We got Jeff as well in 4th here. Jeff, Velocity Night and Morning here. So you can see Jeff, heavy concentration, working hard, making sure to burn those calories. As Casey goes, Racer Edge and Underdog. You get 1 Racer's Edge, 1 Underdog. And was that a block? That could, I was looking down at my notes. If we have that on the replay, can we bring that up? Oh, it's Sebastian just on the end of that. Also gets caught out. So here we go again. We're looking at Casey Shum with his supers, pushes on through, and he, in trying to avoid Timothy, he instead hits the back of Timothy. Timothy overshot it by 1 lane, either on purpose or by accident, most likely the latter, and Casey, thinking Timothy would have been in the right lane, gets blocked. Everything is going Hive Hornets' way today, but it is far from over, because Velocity, Night and Morning are starting their return. They're 3rd and 4th here on the scoreboard. As you can see, Jeff now with a Racer's Edge. He realizes that Timothy is in a world of hurting here. Jeff, you guys are creeping back. You're only about 26 points here. Is this the beginning of the comeback?
we're working on it. We're hoping.
I like it. I like it. How's Carl feeling right now as the physical rider?
Oh, man, it's such hard work. My finger, it's getting worn out. I'm going to have calluses.
I'm sure right now Carl is telling you to shut up in Swedish. But Velocity Night and Morning here. It is very close on the scoreboard because Hive Hornets and Velocity Night and Morning, with the points that they are collecting here, there's 1.5 point difference on the points they're scoring on this map. Hive Hornets are scoring 67.5 currently, and Velocity is scoring 66, and that changes now as Carl moves on up, and it changes dramatically here. And so as Jeff pushes through as well, this could be a close to the end. We've got 700 meters to go here. We got Barnyard Velo up next. This is the final bit. I didn't even... Oh, sorry, guys. We're on the final bit here with Vibeke. And Quinton can't believe he got blocked again by Timothy Termont. I've been lulled into a false sense of security, guys. I am so sorry. The action has happened so quickly. We're in the last 500 meters. What the heck? Oh, Quinton gets blocked. Jeff goes into the lead. And with this, Velocity Night and Morning are taking the lead in first and second. Jeff Rooney, but here comes Terminal Velocities. Christian Whiteman, he says, I'm still standing Elton John style. And with that, Hive Hornets goes back into the lead. So Christian taking away valuable points, and don't sleep on Vibeke Bertram, because there she comes, and so does Glenn. The finish line is beckoning. Christian Whiteman, Vibeke, Glenn. Oh my goodness! Did that change positions as Quinton too has a chance of coming on through 52 kilometers an hour. Timothy has to give it everything. Quinton comes through on the keyboard to the finish line. Timothy beats him out. And with this, Velocity for a second, for like 10 seconds, we're 5 points ahead. Velocity Night and Morning, we're 5 points ahead in that last 700 meters. But it ends with Hive Hornets 30 points atop. Again, I apologize for getting completely lost in Sci-Far R Loop. Such an immersive map. I got completely lost. I didn't even realize we were in the final kilometer. That is on me. As we see Jennifer riding with Robert, Howard, and the rest of her best friends as she finishes off Sci-Far R Loop. Bring up the instant replay here. Christian Whiteman, everybody. What a race, what a performance. You get the highlight here again. Let's go, as we see, let's go to Jeff, because Jeff, man, what a finish here, coming on through. You, for a second there, you guys were in the lead.
Yeah, and then blew it. that was an amazing race. That was well done by everybody. It's the skill level's just coming up so much, and you know, we have the whole thing. We think, oh, we're doing great. Oh, you know, I've improved lots than everybody else has, and you still seem average. So,
now,
hard work.
That's brilliant, though. That's what CVRcade is awesome, the skill level. But now, going to be from in the lead to 30 points down, you need to pull one out of the back here on Barnyard Velo. What's your skill level like on Barnyard?
Well, when there's nobody else, it's awesome. But when there's a heap of people, there's just so many things you got to watch, be careful of: corner speeds, obstacles, holding the speed. Because it's still a power course, like, you know, sitting at the 367, which the keyboard can stay at all day, it's still not fast enough to stay up with everybody. So, you know, it's still a tough course to race properly.
Well, Jeff, good luck. Unfortunately for you, you do have a heap of other people in there, but I mean, you should just wish there was no player base and it was you riding the Derny Cup, taking home all the money. Let's go to Timothy Tamont. If he's got his headphones, he got them attached, he's got them plugged in here. Timothy, can you unmute your microphone just so I can confirm you can get audio through? Oh, I think he might have to reconnect. He's saying 1 second, but in the meanwhile, let's go to Casey, because that ending in that race, it was just back and forth. Casey, you got blocked, Quinton got blocked in there in the end. Talk me through the emotions.
I mean, the block's frustrating, but I mean, it didn't really matter. I didn't have well, I shouldn't say I don't have the legs. I've got the legs. I do not have a leg issue today, so I'm not really sure what's going on. There's a few odd things. People are shooting off the front, doing some stuff that we were warned about. So I don't know. It's it's just some odd stuff going on. But my legs are fine. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm a bit disappointed that we're playing the uncrashable like that. I thought after Saturday that it was a game mechanic they felt like needed to be fixed. So I assumed we wouldn't do that again until it was fixed. But, I mean, that's all right. The guys didn't exploit it like they did on Saturday, so it was fair game. I just can't keep up with whatever the new equalization is.
Well, let's see. We got more chances. Hopefully, Casey, once you cool down, you can have a chat. Well, we're cooling down with a controller later, as we have L and T as well. But not over until the fat lady sings. We've got Barnyard Velo up next. Let's try and see if Timothy has reconnected his headphones. Timothy,
Hello?
I mean, that last one, the blocks again on display, the moves being on. First question: when you block Casey, did you overshoot it, or did you just predict it going to that lane? And then, like, the last kilometer, I mean, did you ever panic? I saw the scoreboard change at least 10 times.
Like I told Glenn before the race, you have to take as much points as you can here, because I need a little bit of a rest here, so I did. And it was actually, I think we were close to a lap in before I realized the uncrashable ability was on. I knew it beforehand, but I wasn't thinking about it. I was slowing for corners and everything. So that got me on the back end of that front group. So I had to put in way too much effort for my liking for that 1.5 multiplier. And yeah, the blocking. You block some, you get blocked some. Yeah, I agree with Casey. It wasn't as bad as Saturday. But yeah, I did what I had to do for the points. If it's morally wrong, yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, get, eat, or be eaten, whatever. Eat or be eaten, whatever the saying is. 1 minute and 10 seconds to go here, Timothy. Final word here. At the end of this race, is Hive Hornets the winners?
If we don't choke.
Wow.
Yeah, we know this track. So, yeah, we'll have to choke for them to win. So let's hope we don't choke. We got this, I believe.
Mixer chat, you can chime in here. What do you think? Choke or no choke from the Hive Hornets? 45 seconds to go until country rally starts. By the way, Christian Whiteman, what a performance on that last one. Tip my hat. Great finish in that one. Vipaka Bertram, excellent as well. As Mutt KG stated in the chat, coming up after this, we've got Xbox racing, controller racing. So if you want to join us, I'm looking at Matsuni, Lantrell, Glenn, Wim, Timothy, Quentin, Casey, Moti, whoever else has got controllers out there that want to get involved, we got that at the ending of this race. So in 8 minutes. But here we go. Barnyard Velo, 2.5 scoring multiplier. This could change everything. This could completely rule the upside down world of the scoreboard. We'll see now as the racing gets underway. The sprint out of the gate here is crucial. On the right, we've got Beth York here, who's back in on a keyboard. Carl Axel Sander, Jeff Rooney. Right now, Velocity, Night and Morning are the leaders. They are the preliminary leaders, but it changes so much as Jeff has gone down. Jeff Rooney, Quinton Molinez, they have both gone down. Glenn and Jeff here riding it through. Casey up as well. So Hive Hornets, 27-point lead here as Casey comes on through. Cycling Hub in third, 279. Kayla and Jennifer, the Queen Bees, 242.9. Terminal Velocity and the Cockmasters are 2 point in the differ there further down. 1.9 kilometers to go here. Carl Axel Sander is leading it. But it's going to come down to Jeff Rooney. Jeff Rooney has the chance here to make it up for Velocity Night and Morning. A crash is put him behind here, but he needs to catch up to Glenn, who's 12 seconds up the road here. And with 1.4 kilometers to go, does he have it? One quantum shift is available, but it looks like he is going to have a tough time moving it back. We'll keep an eye though. Here's Jennifer Garcia, who's won on Barnyard Velo before. She's coming out here with a stellar performance herself as she pushes on through. She's in the CVR World Cup kit in real life and in the game. And with this, they're moving into a solid, respectable 4th place here, matching kit points and everything. As Timothy Tamont and Casey Shum side by side here on Barnyard Velo. There are bragging rights on the line here as they push on through. Casey is moving it. Another rider's gone down there as they lap him. But it's Jeff Rooney, who if he didn't crash here, would have been way up the rankings. He moves up from Vibeke, moves up from Quinten, but it's still 34 points down. And we move to his teammate, the Swedish chef, Carl Axel Sander, who is doing his due diligence. But Glenn has gone down. Glenn has crashed. He hits the sandbag. This opens the door. 3 seconds is the difference. 900 meters to go. Where's Jeff? Where is Jeff? 2 seconds back here. If Jeff comes on through, the gap is 2 seconds. Sorry, the gap here is 20 points now. Jeff Rooney with a quantum shift. He rides through Glenn here. Can he come on through? Now the gap is 19 points. Homer Thompson taking some points here. Jeff Rooney heavily concentrating right now, but he needs to catch 2 more spots, I believe. He needs to catch up to Homer, catch up to Jennifer here in order to have a chance to move on up. It's Homer Thompson here, Jennifer, side by side. They've got to be careful as Jeff comes on back here. He goes to the left. He passes Jennifer. They're now only 14 points down on the overall standings. But Jeff, again! Oh, he can't believe it. And with that, sinks the dreams of a comeback, of an upset last second. They've got to be careful here. If Quinten Molinez comes on back, they could move into second place. But Casey Shum, Timothy Tamont, side by side, last 200 meters. Carl Axel Sanders got 100 meters to go here. He's 7 seconds up. He already puts on the headphones. He's celebrating at the very end. He wins the individual as Casey Shum crashes down. He tries to pass Timothy Tamont, the preliminary winners of week 3 of the CVRcade Derny Cup. Casey Shum here, shaking his head. He can't believe it. Quinten comes on through. Glenn comes on through. Homer with a brilliant 5th place. Jennifer, awesome 7th. Kayla as well, redeeming herself. But let's go down to 11th place. Let's get a live reaction. Jeff, the comeback was so on. But you've got to explain yourself on that last crash.
Keep forgetting that you can go through lap riders, but you can't swerve into them. Can't change lane into a lap rider.
I don't even think that was a lap rider. I think that was Homer, who was literally like 1 second ahead of you. So, you know, Jeff.
Oh, worse.
Lesson you've learned there. Nonetheless, great attempt. Let's see the instant replays here as we get the live reaction. We got 3 minutes to go, everybody, before we've got the open racing. I hope everybody sticks around that wants to race on a controller and have some fun. You got the scores there, just so we're keeping them. But what a race here on Barnyard Velo. Carl Axel Sander with a phenomenal effort all around. Phenomenal efforts from everyone in here. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I see Frank Garcia is riding the next one physically. You got Rick Woods as well physically. Homer, Tammy Woods. Then we've got at least 3 keyboard players in there. 30 seconds remaining on the highlights. If Carl Axel Sander is out there, Carl, I mean, week 1 heartbreak. Week 3, you guys almost came back. What does it take to stop the heartbreaks?
Oh, what do you mean by heartbreaks? You know, the failures.
Well, if you want to call it failures, you can call it so, but I'm looking out here saying, oh, you could do it, and then it's just like one mistake from winning in second place.
Yeah, I was happy with my run there. You know, I just got into first place after the start, and then, you know, it's still you want to be on this course, but you can just stay in lane 3 and just keep your speed under 45 and can just sail on, and you know, when you got the 4-second gaps, you know, you can just settle in and you don't have to, you know, push the speed. So, you know, yeah, it's a perfect situation for me there. But I was too bad with Jeff there with one crash, and I had the second was lag related crash. So yeah, it's a pity we couldn't make just a little bit better there, so we could almost take the first place. But yeah, I guess we're learning. We're coming back stronger next time.
Coming back stronger. Well, good luck, Carl, going forward. Definitely a threat, both physically and non-physical, as Jeff is bringing it up. Wim is saying, can you please send me my vMix call again? So, executive producer is on it. While that happens, let's go on here from... Oh, Timothy Tamont, we just got the no. What did we just catch the end of?
I didn't see there was no abilities here. But I'm on controller. Let's go. I can have some fun now. after the victory. Woo!
Well, so you're saying the last zone wasn't fun? You know, winning the overall, winning a few
Oh,
stages
it's
in
very
there?
fun now. Yeah, very fun now. I had Glenn in my ears. I knew I didn't have to like catch Carl there at the end, so it was a little bit of like let Carl go and just ride for second. Honestly, I raced that one pretty good. I didn't let Casey have any chances of coming past me because I always had the inside lane, and because the speed differential from the inside lane, there was nowhere he could really pass me. He could use his quantum shift, I guess, but other than that, yeah, it was not really a way to pass me. So, and then in the end, he crashed trying. So,
Well, good luck
focusing here.
Just
Yeah,
gonna say good luck here.
First Xbox race. Woo!
Xbox racing is getting underway. Timothy did go out and buy an Xbox controller. We have Frank in here who's riding physically. If Frank Garcia is able to beat these riders, I mean, there's definitely some donuts coming his way if that is the case. So I think we might have some. I think Wim might have been joining in on Timothy's call there a second ago. But Xbox players have to learn as well how to get into the correct VMix call, etc. I think he actually got into the right one, so I'm not sure what happened to Timothy. But we're seeing Frank here beating Kayla on a controller, beating Casey, beating Lantrell Storm as well. But it's a long race. The abilities have come off as Casey's shown with 1800 equalized watts here, as he's got the controller attached here. He's playing with it under as he is just shaking out his legs. On the front, Timothy Tamont, Glenn, and Sebastian, who's 4 seconds down. But we're getting a Hive Hornets match here between the two rider here. So I think Timothy is still, I'm not sure if he's back. He just sat so still that Timothy Tamont looked like he was frozen. But you can see the smile. You can see Sebastian as well, just off the back here. Seb, is it nice to be off the keyboard and onto a controller?
Yeah, now my rider rides a good pace. This is okay.
Well, you're sitting in third right now, Seb. I'll let you get back as Kayla Laguna goes down as well. So these zones, everybody, zones L and T on a Thursday are Xbox/controller focused. So if you still want to ride CVRcade, you want to have fun, you want to cool down the legs, an Xbox controller or a Logitech controller is only like $20, £20. So if you want to get on, you want to ride with the rest of us, that's something that definitely is an investment worth made here. So you can come ride with us, you can ride with Mansuni, with Kayla, with Casey, with Frank. I see Tammy Woods is in here now as Timothy crashes. Tammy was an absolute rock star last Tuesday as we saw her as Timothy put a block on Sebastian there. But we saw Tammy on Tuesday in Lakeview Corner with an absolutely amazing performance. She came second to Carl Axel Sander, and you saw in the last zone how strong, how good Carl Axel Sander is as well. So we'll see here as Tammy Woods. Glenn goes down the front here. This opens the door for DK Mansuni with 600 meters to go here. DK Mansuni is going to fly on by. Timothy is there as well. We're going to have a 3-up sprint finish with Timothy in second place. Mansuni in first. As you can see, Timothy, his camera has not frozen. He just gets so concentrated. But Glenn has got comeback kid. Timothy's in the draft here. They've got to be careful they don't crash. Timothy's heart rate is 128 equalized heart rate here. You can see race with the previous zone as Glenn slides on out. This is an Xbox versus Xbox sprint finish. Timothy catches Mansuni out. And he comes on through. He takes the win. Sebastian will be second place ahead of Mansuni. Now, I can't wait to see what Temple Run is going to look like with Xbox controllers, but Seb looks happy with himself. Glenn, I hear we may have Glenn on the broadcast next week, and if that's the case, I can't wait, everybody. That's going to be amazing. Glenn, one of the newcomers to CVRcade who came through as a gamer, who's now found the love a bit for cycling. We get Casey, who is 10 seconds in front of Frank, and the rest. See, Wim has also joined in the racing as he's in the broadcast. If we got the instant replay, we'll load it up. And while the replay loads here, I see we've got Wim in the broadcast. Wim, glad you made it in. I see you're rocking the Dutch national kit once more. Have you had some practice lately on CVRcade?
No, I haven't.
Shame on you.
I was just home at 7 o'clock. and I watched the Derny Cup, and then I got in here.
What did you think of the Derny Cup? Who was the highlight? What was the highlight of the Derny Cup?
And right now, what is on my mind is that my FPS on my Xbox is only 4, so it's now up to 50. So next race I will be better, I think. But it's all a bit much right now. I need to calm down.
I like it. No, like Wim is also like the rest of us, like, and breathe on to the next one. So much action. But like the Sci-Fi R loop finish, Wim, I saw you in the chat saying you might have to watch that one back. What was it about the finish on Sci-Fi R loop?
Oh yeah, there was happening so much there. It was amazing. In the last 500 meter, there were like 10 changes in the scoreboard, and then there were so many changes I couldn't keep up.
Well, Wim, I'm excited to see what you can bring here in the Xbox race on Temple Run without any controllers. We've got Casey Shum in here who's cooling down. He's riding on a controller as well. Casey, what's the difference like? Obviously, you've got the physical, the non-physical, but mentality-wise, what's it like, you know, riding your bike and then having to do it on a controller? What changes?
Yeah, I mean, it's significantly different because you have to, you know, every corner is a wreck potential on the controller, where on the bike, you only have to know 4 or 5 key corners, usually even on a technical track. Unless you're attacking, a lot of the times we stay under the corner speeds anyway. So it's significantly different. The tracks ride differently. Like this track here that we're coming up on, Temple Run, is not that hard on the bike. You just have to be careful when you attack, because most of these corners going up the hill aren't something that you can break the corner speed on without going well above threshold on the bike. So you only have to be careful if you attack. But going up the hill on the controller, you are metering your power the entire time up these corners. Like, you cannot hold the button wide open on this track going up the hill. So it is quite a bit different. It's a new challenge for sure.
I absolutely love how you go. Temple Run is not that difficult of a map. I think the majority out there would heavily disagree with you, Casey. But that's why you are one of the best guys on the racing currently. Good luck, Casey. Good luck, Wim. Here as the controller racing gets underway. Let's see who else we've got sticking around. We've got Homer Thompson here, who, as we've got 3 minutes until the racing begins, we can get a quick word from Homer. Homer, Derny Cup racing, you and Seb significantly stronger this week. Looked like you were more gelled. What was your experience of the last zone in racing?
I didn't. I don't know. I'm not sure what happened, but I wasn't able to stay with. So I don't know. Can't say.
Well, I know you've been saying, like, here's the thing, Homer. When do you rest? Like, when do you rest? Because, like, whenever you're awake, you're on CVRcade. Like, do you ever sleep?
I try to be. I try to sleep, but yeah, I try to CVRcade as much as I can.
Do you dream about CVRcade? Like, when you close your eyes, do you see, like, Summit Islands? You've got the palm trees.
Really, I do. Yeah.
That is brilliant. I mean, that is amazing, Homer. Well, thank you for leading the Rise and Rips last week. Awesome. We should look into getting you your own class. What would you call, if you had a class, what would you name it?
Oh, that's putting me on the spot. I need a chance to think about that. But really, I probably do much better in the classes than I do in the races.
That is amazing, Homer. You know what? I'll come back to you later and I'll ask you. So I'll give you some time to think up an answer of what you would call your class. So now you got time to think. 1 minute, everybody, until Temple Run gets underway. We saw the first cup here, which was the Derny Cup. Now we've got up next here is just generic racing as we're coming on through. So the Derny Cup has finished for this week. Zone K was the Derny Cup. So disregard what you saw on the scoreboard. We'll change that around. But here's Zone L. Xbox Racing with those that want to get in their physical exercise. Massive shout out to Frank, massive shout out to Rick, to Tammy, to Homer for riding on through, and to everybody else doing it on an Xbox controller. I wish you good luck here, as you've got to make sure you stay under the corner speed. You got Timothy, you've got Sebastian, you've got Glenn, you got Casey, you got Wim, you got Mansuni, you've got Kayla Laguna as well, all on a controller, as 2 weightlifted, 2 wind at your backs, and 2 racer edges will be available here in the 2.5 scoring multiplier. In the last few zones that we've done with controllers, it's been extremely close at the top, separated by 5, 6, 7 points, sometimes even only 1 point here. So I'm excited to see as Frank Garcia forced to use every single super he's got. Racer's edge, weightlifted, and wind at his back. He is in the lead here for a second as he gets on the wheel of Timothy Termont. Casey trying to get a bit of draft here. Now this first corner is tricky. If like this corner here, you will slide out and you will risk exceeding the corner speed. As you've got Casey, you've got Timothy, both playing a game of charades here. Who can sit the most still and not move a muscle at the same time? And they both lose immediately as that gets called. But Casey is in second. Kayla here is in the lead. Glenn and Wim has already crashed once together. But here you got Kale, you got Casey. Now, I'm not sure, and this is something that we're going to see more as we race. I'm not sure if crashing on a controller is like worse for you than physical, if it's the same, or if it's less worse. Because it seems like you can make up time with the high accelerations here when you are racing on through. As you see Casey now taking to the lead. Glenn with a second crash down in 6th place. Casey with the wave of the hand here as Kayla comes on by. But Glenn exerted all his energy. Casey wants us to come to him. Casey, let's see. What's up, Casey?
It definitely hurts less to wreck on a keyboard because I don't have to hurt my legs to sprint to catch up.
Well, true. That is, you know what? There should be like a shocker. Like there should be a shock, like a taser attached to your controller. So when you crash, it goes. Eet! I mean,
yes,
there.
Yes,
it is.
we should have. Yeah, we should have like stun guns attached to our hands, like a cattle prod or something. And every time you wreck, you get zapped, and each wreck gets worse.
Or get your child, everybody get their family involved. Tell them, look, you can hold a Nerf gun. Whenever Jesper tells you to, fire it. Like,
I think my kids would rather have the cattle prod to shock me.
Oh, my, I mean, somebody out there, if you want a good, future strategy of how to increase your revenue, that's your strategy right there, the CVRcade Taser. I mean, that is something. We had Eat Concrete earlier in the past. That never amounted to anything, but maybe the taser gun could be another element. Timothy is moving around here with Kayla. Gotta be careful here. This corner is tight here. Casey moves through. Kayla slows down. Timothy comes on through. I remember the highlight. Does anybody else remember the highlight of Kayla on this specific corner? She had to move through the butts in Season 1 of the CVRcade World Cup. She lost power for just a second, but as it came back, how CVRcade, compensates you for an AMP Plus dropout. It gives you that bit of power that you lost back. So she shot forward, but when that happened, she had to move through a live group of riders, and she swung to the right, she swung to the left, and she avoided all the competition here. As Casey, 96, 97, 98, slows before 100. There's no fun there. Casey Shum does not hit triple digits, but he is at 111 equalized heart rate. It's fun to see the reaction here from all the heart rates. But what's incredibly impressive right now is that Frank Garcia is in 6th. Frank is he's riding his bike, he's beating Mansuni, he's beating Wim. I mean, he is staying near the front here, and he's with Glenn down in 5th and 6th here, so definitely close. But as Casey used his supers here, he's pushing on through. Timothy, what are you trying to look at?
The corner speeds, they're so small. Oh,
getting a shake of the head here from Casey. Casey, do you even need the corner speeds?
I have no cheat sheets. That's cheating. Come on. You got to know them.
Tasking. Give me a break.
What'd you say, Timothy? Sorry?
I'm multitasking.
Wow. You got to multitask harder here. You're being beat by Kayla, or almost beat.
Hey, he used his power-ups. That's fine. We'll catch him. I'm not worried.
Well, if you could actually see, oh, Timothy almost crashes not knowing that
I got this. Don't even start. I got this.
Casey, do you really believe Timothy's got this?
Nah, not at
No.
all.
No. Chat, do you believe Timothy's got this one?
I'll get to 100K. Don't worry.
Oh, I can't wait for Timothy to crash on down and go, what? I didn't know that was a corner speed. Good luck, Timothy. Good luck, Casey. Both of them in there. DK says, anyone can beat me with 6 FPS. I'm sorry to hear that, Mansuni. Fofa says, doing a lot of pushing on through tonight. 94 equalized heart rate. Timothy, like the heart rates are moving so rapidly as Kayla crashes here. When you are seeing the actual physical component of the game, heart rates, they move up quite steadily until you produce a really high effort. Here, it's like spiking. You go up, then you go down. You go up, and then you go down. As you'll see, Timothy, Casey with 90, 103, Sebastian at 84. He is coming on back here. So he comes through the corner. Once he gets through this corner, we're going to hear Sep, what do you make of having like a cheat sheet with maps? Do you do that?
Yes, I do, but they are so small I can't read it.
Same issue as Timothy. Well, sounds like you guys need another cheat sheet with speeds on it. But Sep did just pass Timothy there, and it changes a bit on the overall standings. Puts Sebastian Kuhn 1 second down on Casey. Oh, sorry, 1 point down on Casey Shum as we enter the second lap here. As Timothy slams on the brakes. He's trying to just shadow Sebastian Kuhn. Mutt KG says that's funny, Sep. So we'll see. 9.1Ks. Timothy is trying to look at his cheat sheet. Timothy, I wonder, Sebastian. No, Sep! Sep has crashed on down. I think he may have just overlapped the wheels there. What happened? But Sep fell down. Timothy, it's funny if you guys can see this. Timothy was nodding his head yes, and Sebastian was going no the other way. Sep, did you just overlap the wheels or what happened there?
I don't know. I think I changed the line, but I was too fast. Don't know.
Well, you know, if you had a bigger map, maybe you would have known the inside corner speed on that one, but we'll see. Sebastian Kuhn, everybody, on the Cognition t-shirt, which looks pretty cool. We're going to see, I get a message from the team that Nigel prints out his maps full size with colors and speeds and then gets them on plastic covers. Now that's dedication. That is definitely dedication from Nigel, but I'd expect nothing less from Nightmare Doyle Nigel. I think we'd see that. But Frank Garcia, still up here. He's only 2 minutes down. He's pushing on through here, producing a good result so far. And in the overall, he is up there in 6th currently. Barnyard Velo can be difficult on a controller. Cypher R Loop, we do have Uncrashable. Actually, we don't have Uncrashable on. So that could be interesting as well, as that could be... Maybe Frank Garcia will upset everybody here, but that's a tough task when all Casey has to do is press right bumper in order to get the power. Timothy's still chasing it down, but you know, it looks like Sebastian Kuhn knows these corner speeds better than Timothy Tamont because he's gaining time on him every single corner here. And Timothy, despite having the cheat sheet to the left, he wants... Timothy, you're up. You are at the front of the class. What do you want to tell everybody?
It's my first time racing with a controller. Yeah, but yeah, great job.
Sorry, what was the corner
I'm
speed
not
there?
used to. It's 45. I'm not used to the slowing and the speeding on the controller yet. Give me another week and I'll be good.
This is like someone saying, "Oh, my dog ate my homework." Everybody, give me another week. Give me another week, and I'll get you the correct homework. I swear. Timothy, who crashed on down. Casey now 81, not 100, but still so quick. And the avatar's having trouble staying with it. Kayla's coming back here as well. Kayla Laguna is passing on by Timothy. Timothy is trying to get to 100 kph here, but Kayla pushing on through. Usually their teammates at Team Hive, and she tries it. Timothy only 95 equalized, 95 kilometers an hour. He's at 69, 65, 60. Oh, he slows down as he passes Sebastian. We get a bit of Salt Bay from Timothy Tamont there. Next time we come to the start-finish banner, it will mark the last lap of racing. If we just do our due diligence and we move on through, down in 11th currently, marking the end of the troops, we have the the Dutch rider, Wim Moisten here. As you can see him sitting down. He is with Homer. Wim, are you trying to help out Homer here, or what's happening?
No, my FPS is still on 4, same as Masuni, so we Xbox rider have it really difficult right now.
Well, so I'll give you a tip. If you could just press right or left, because right now, whenever you're accelerating, you're slamming into the back of Homer Thompson. So you're going at the speed of whatever Homer Thompson is going to go.
And that way I know I won't crash if I follow Homer right now. Or that's my tactic right now.
I like it. Homer has got a rider just behind him, and this is a stark contrast as Homer is accelerating. He's like, Wim, could you just go away? I love having you in the rice and rip here, but I don't need you slamming up the back every 2 seconds here on tempo run climb as Homer is feeling the grain. We've got Rick Woods in 8th, who last week was broadcasting in. It was good to see him. We've got Mansuni, who's on a controller. He's behind. Then we got Frank Garcia, who's riding physically. He is with Glenn out on the map, and it looks like Glenn is just giving a helping hand here to Frank, letting him have someone to work with, giving a bit of draft, and they can race with each other. Further up, Kayla has just crashed, and then we've got Sebastian and Timothy here in a heads-up finale here. Now, Seth has gone from being extremely close to the camera and extremely close to the screen to trying the opposite strategy, so you gotta test everything as he slides through the corner. Welcome to the CVRcade bobsledding competition here. We've got out of Germany, Sebastian Kuhn. He has got aerodynamics for days. Now, I don't actually know much about bobsledding. I know you gotta be aero. I know you've gotta lean in, and if you lean in too much, I reckon you you fly over the edge, just like track cycling. But Casey, 13 seconds is the gap here on tempo run. Long race. Next up, we've got Cypher R loops. We got 3 laps of that. Looking on the scoreboard, you can see that Timothy is leading 3 points ahead of Casey. Then Casey's got 9 points, 8.5 points down to Sep. Then there is 12 points down to Kayla, and then 1 point between Kayla and Mansuni. So 1 out of 4 races here. You've got to make sure that you perform at all of them as Mansuni falls down. Last time up here on tempo run. I mean, I'm not sure. Oh, Timothy was trying to... Seb, what's going wrong here?
Don't turn my microphone on. I don't use family-friendly words.
Well, this so far seemed very family-friendly, but I got you, Seb. I got you. We'll refrain, but Seb, 3rd or 4th crash here on tempo run as we go back to the side-by-side. Casey's initial use of the supers here has really put him at an advantage ahead of Timothy, who is not able to move anywhere. Timothy, do you've got a joke to tell with the rest of the class?
No, me and Glenn are talking on Discord.
I mean, do you want
I'm going to wait for this. It was an inside joke. You won't get it. Yeah, I'm that the guy.
Mixer chat, I think we got to send him to detention, but we'll see.
Hey!
Timothy still currently leading the overall as we draw a close to tempo run here. So once this ends, we go to Cypher R loop. Now, Cypher R loop does not have uncrashable ability like it did in Zone K. So I would anticipate a few more tricky corners in there, giving some trouble to some of the riders. Casey seems to be good on Cypher R loop. Quentin usually too, but Quentin is not in here. So that'll be an interesting one to see. A higher skill gap for sure, a higher skill level map compared to Temple Run. It looks like Casey has it nailed down here. He's just got to finish it through here. Few crashes as possible, and with a 20-second lead, he will take the win here. We still got a few laps, sorry, a few kilometers to go between Kayla Laguna and Sep Kuhn further down. Mutt KG says, to detention, Timothy, unless, of course, you tell us that Oh, Sep! Oh, no! Sep is trying to destroy his seat currently in Germany, so we could have cleanup in aisle 3. Now, Mutt KG, that was where I was headed as well, but you never know with Belgians. You don't really want to... I mean, they're inside jokes. You don't want to embarrass them because we know it's going to be bad. So we're going to want to let Timothy and Glenn keep their whatever is left of their pride for now. I mean, they did just win, or preliminary win, Zone K, which is the CVRcade Derny Cup. We get the thumbs up from Timothy. We even got to see Mutt KG. We got to see the top of Timothy's head today without a headset. I mean, that is like a first ever in so long. So who knows? 1.6k remaining. Casey's got a 15-second lead here. I think with the supers all gone, as Kayla goes down again, it opens the door for Seb. But both Kayla and Seb have crashed a significant amount of times here. And then Timothy goes down as well. Seems like he needs to scale up his map here of corner speeds. So he wants me to come to him. Timothy, what's up?
Glenn is asking if he's getting any Frank points for helping them today. So if you could check that with Frank.
Well, we'll check it with Mutt KG first, because I think Mutt KG is the one who handles the distribution of Frank points. I think we'll see. Mutt KG, Glenn is helping out Frank Garcia down in 5th and 6th. What do you reckon, Mutt KG? Does that constitute some delivering of Frank points? Does it not? Should we take some away? Is that sucking up? I don't know. Mutt KG, I think we got to make a decision. Kayla once more goes down, and Sebastian. Well, keep that face in mind when Sebastian crashes in 10 seconds. It might be the exact opposite facial reaction that's gonna come on through here. Oh, Sebastian Kuhn. On the front, though, Casey Schumacher's got 400 meters left as Timothy Tabot crashes again here on the front. He's only got 6 seconds here from being in the lead. 3 points up. He's got to be careful here. Sebastian Kuhn is coming back. Mutt KG says, yeah, it's sucking up, but Frank is okay with that. I'm liking that. Casey comes across the finish line here. At 100 meters to go, you see Casey Shum finishes off tempo run, taking home 75 points. Still 3 points down on the overall leaderboard, but with form and fitness, looks like he is a contender on Cypher Arloop as Kayla goes down again there in 4th place. So top 4 Xbox riders here come across the line. Casey is first. You've got Timothy in 2nd, and then Kayla and Sebastian. I reckon they've had more crashes on tempo run as Timothy looks towards his wall and says, yes, there's still a wall behind me. But I think Sebastian and Kayla here have had more crashes than they did on electric fidget, which is quite impressive, as we've got Kayla Laguna coming across the line next. And then you've got Frank Garcia and Glenn further down. I'm seeing Seb is actually, stretching his wrist. Seb, what's the strategy there? Is there like a specific technique to stretching your wrist?
I need to stretch because I can't change the position of my fingers like this.
Sounds like you need like a modded Xbox control, like a specific one, or just, I don't know if you can change the power button to like something else, but Seb, it looks funny. It looks good. So far, so good. If you can keep the rubber side down on Cypher R Loop, chance of a top 3. We got Frank and the rest. But let's load the instant replays because we are here for the Xbox riders. We'll let the physical riders finish in due time as Cypher R Loop is up next. Casey Shum here, almost at 100 kilometers an hour on the front. Casey, there was no one in sight for you in that one. Everybody behind you just kept on crashing. You didn't even have a cheat sheet with the map speeds. I mean, that felt kind of easy for you.
Yeah, I kind of said that at one point. Like, I hadn't practiced that course. I just know that course pretty well from riding it on the bike. So I'm not sure what it is, or if it was just riding the other day a little bit with the controller, hitting your brake points right. Kind of like what I said on electric fidget the other day, though, when I was riding it physically, I purposely used the power-ups early just to get away. So I could just ride the course and not worry about if somebody was overlapping, sliding into somebody. I think where people get into trouble is they are busy chasing. They're trying to make up time, and when you make up time, you're going to make mistakes. You just need to ride the best or play the best that you can play and try to force the person in front of you into a mistake instead of forcing yourself into one.
I think that was also quite evident with seeing how Timothy, Sebastian, and Kayla all were trying to chase you down, and we saw them crash for Kayla 8 times in total on the last map, so quite significant. Casey Shum, everybody, currently 3 points down on Timothy, but comes into Cypher R Loop, the red-hot favorite for the win. As you can see, starts in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. We've got the physical riders all, you know, clawing their way up Temple Run Hill, just waiting, coming on through, and they are going to finish. And we've got 2 more races here in Zone L before we head to Zone T later tonight as well. But you've heard from Casey, who's currently in second. Timothy Tamont, who did in fact confirm that his wall behind him is still white, came across the line in second. Timothy, Cypher R Loop, no uncrashable. I mean, this is more technical than Temple Run. Are you sure you're going to keep the rubber side down?
I'm testing corner speeds as we speak. I totally forgot them. So 45, 50, yeah, okay, yeah. I totally forgot them, and I don't have a map from this one. So yeah, it's gonna be great. I might have to do a Casey and go all out from the start with the power-ups. We'll see. But maybe me saying this makes them think that I will do it. Ooh.
So you're trying to fake them out by faking them out by faking them out. I got it. Definitely. Here, Timothy.
Yeah, we're on the same wavelength. Yeah.
Can we talk about the new kit? Because Alison Kubota in the chat seems to be loving it. Talk me through the design process of the new Hive kit. Talk me through. You chose to get a more of an esports element rather than cycling lycra.
Yeah, definitely. Because for me, CVRcade is more of an esports than a cycling platform. So that's the reason I went with the esport type of jersey with the name on the back, the classic design with the flag and all that. I choose to make the logo with somebody on Fiverr. There's some super amazing talent on that app. So first somebody made the logo design for us. We had a bit of back and forth, change this, change that, until it was perfect for me. And then we had another person on Fiverr again make the shirt design itself with that logo, the name, and everything. So yeah, there's some great talent on that. So if somebody is looking for some logo design or anything, yeah, that app is super great.
Well, it sounds like Team Hive sponsored by Fiverr, but
I wish.
Timothy Tamont currently in first. Let's get a final word before the racing gets underway by our third place finisher, Seb. Few too many crashes in the last one. We're back on a fantastical track. Last time we saw you, you had some trouble with Fidget. What about Cypher R Loop?
I have a tip for Timothy. All corners are 60.
You sure it wasn't 60, 62?
60, at least 60.
At least 60. Oh, I see. You can trust Sebastian. He's a professional, everybody. Exactly. Trust Seb. Never. He's always dead. I mean, you can just look at Sebastian. Sebastian, 38 seconds to go here. Good luck. Make sure to keep your corner speeds at 60 kilometers an hour on this one. KG says she likes the flags on Team Hive's arms. I do the same. It's a cool kit. It's very different to what's currently available from Cognition, from Velocity, from Cycling Up, well, it's similar to the Team CVR shirt. The Team CVR shirt is equally as awesome. But 10 seconds to go, everybody. Cypher R Loop. Is Timothy going to fake out the fake out the fake out? I guess we'll just have to see now as it gets underway here. He's got the shushing out once more as we go. 14:35, equalized watts. Timothy with an equalized heart rate of 109 here. Definitely feeling it, definitely feeling the pressure here at the front of the racing. Casey, Sebastian. Casey goes down though. How did that happen? Not even sure how that one happened, Casey. Can you talk us through from your point of view?
I don't have any idea. I changed lanes before we unghosted, so I'm not sure.
Do we have that one on the replay to bring it up? Let's see if we've got it here. So, got Casey Shum on audio. We're seeing it once more here. So, on the ghost, we see it. All 3 riders are together. Power up. I'm not sure. It looks at the very end as the ghost runs out, but at least we have that one on the replay. Casey, from the lead in the last race, can make it. Sorry?
No, I hit the button before it changed lanes. I had hit the button like 3 seconds before it changed lanes. It was just slow changing lanes.
Got it. Well, we can always bring up the physical replay and we can have a look as well. That's one of the pleasures of having that in the game as well. But Timothy Tamont, 1 second off the back here. Sebastian Kuhn is raging back into the lead here. He is 1 point down, but Glenn Now, Glenn, all the Frank points that you've been given by Mutt KG here, you gotta stick by it. You can't have your cake and eat it. You can't just say you're gonna stick by him and then leave him in the dust. So, Mutt KG, do we take away the Frank points here? Now, Glenn is on the front. I'm not sure. Sebastian, Glenn is trying to force a mistake. Glenn has spent a lot of time with Timothy, it seems like, if you compare their racing styles. He's riding the outside of Seb here, and Seb leans into the screen as they hit the falls flat. Kayla further down, Wim further down, Mansuni 3 seconds down here. He is making his return to the front of the racing, but 3 riders. Sebastian, Glenn. Ooh, Sebastian breaks down. He gets the block on Timothy there. We're into Garcia corner. We've seen Jennifer, we've seen Frank crash, and Timothy at 34 threads the needle. Glenn bounces into him, but Timothy's like, did you see that? Yes, we saw that, Timothy, but the speed differential wasn't high enough for a crash. As Sebastian is holding down the throttle here. He's getting ready, and Sebastian crashes! Oh no, Timothy, you can see him saying bye-bye. Bring that one up on the instant replay, and we get it once more. So Sebastian here on the outside, on the left, that's his gameplay. On the right, you've got Timothy. And I think Sebastian moves over to the left. That is so close. I mean, for that to happen, but justice has been served. Timothy Tamont himself overlaps the wheels, and from going bye-bye, well, it's bye-bye-bye to you, Timothy, as he falls down. He uses underdog. Casey is coming back too. So on the overall scoreboard, Timothy and Casey right now are tied at 123.5. But what happened to Sep there, as Glenn also crashes on Sci-Fi loop, was pretty crazy. Because Sep slowed on down, Timothy went high, Timothy slid through the corner, but because Sebastian was going slower, he managed to get through on the inside, but Sep was going quicker at the end of the turn. So from Timothy starting the corner on the inside to ending the corner on the outside, and when Sebastian accelerated, he slid out into him. But with this, Casey and Timothy tied at 126.5 on the scoreboard here, and they're neck and neck as Timothy comes on through. He's on the outside. He rides the shoulder of Casey. One crash for everybody but Mansuni, and that's why Mansuni is in the lead here. It is incredibly close at the top here of the racing. Timothy leaning on in, trying to get aero. Casey doesn't need any of that. He's raw power currently as he sits on back here. Casey slows down. Sebastian goes down. Timothy goes down, but Sebastian again. And he now finds himself below Mansuni on the scoreboard. Mansuni is rising late here. But now Timothy, 2.7 kilometers to go. We've got just over 2 laps remaining here. So just over 1 lap remaining. Once they come to the start-finish banner, it will be the last lap of Sci-Fi loop. Timothy coming through this corner. We've seen him do Garcia corner well in the past. He does it again. 35 on the right. 36. Casey nails it as well. Both riders, masters of their craft, as Timothy gives Casey a thumbs up. So not sure he gets one back. 1-1. As you see Timothy, this is where he forced a mistake, and they both go down. Timothy shakes his head, and Glenn too. All 3 of them can't believe it as they fall down. Mansuni rides off into the sunset, but Casey made a mistake. Bring that one up on the replay, because that is just too good. Casey, too hot here on the inside, but so is Timothy. And then Timothy with a face slap as then Glenn goes, hey guys, I'm here too. Is this the party? I have a pepperoni pizza. But he's back on it. We'll see how this one ends, because Sebastian Kuhn is back. There are 4 racers in 2nd to 4th here, all within a second or 2 of each other. And on the scoreboard, they are extremely close. Now, we do have Racer's Edge, Underdog, and Win That You're Back, but I think a few of them may already have been used. Shout out to Mansuni. Excellent performance from the Dane here as... Timothy, I mean, the whole charade things he's got going on there. He's got 3 modes. There's the Salt Bay, there's the thumbs up, and then there's the applause. So I'm like, most understated emojis of all time, as you're seeing Timothy having fun with it. 1k to go for Mansuni, just over 1k for Timothy and Casey at this point. Glenn's coming back, Sebastian's coming back, but they're going to struggle a tiny bit. This time it's Casey again on the inside. Timothy hell-bent on catching Casey sliding out through the corner, and Casey knows this, so he's forced to slow down, but he does take the inside line. They've got a lapped rider that they're catching up to now, and this is big on the scoreboard. If Casey can beat Timothy here, I reckon they will be tied going into Barnyard Velo. So we'll see. Timothy, hot through the corner. Casey, just on the edge. But there's another corner coming up. This is the false flat, 3%. They push it on. Casey's in the draft here, so he's got the advantage. Timothy encouraging his rider to go quicker. He gets out of the draft, but what he's doing is he's slowing himself down here. That had more of an impact the other way around. Oh, back and back here, guys. 300 meters. It's the ending of the race here. Casey shaking his head. He's at 39. Timothy at 36. Oh, Casey goes down and Timothy. One single overlap. And Casey Shum falls even further down. Now, the scoreboard has glitched on my point of view, so Mansuni is now the leader as Glenn falls down. What a race. Mansuni wrote that race so well. CVRcade went, you know what, Mansuni, we're going to make you the preliminary leader in the race. And Casey inches away. Casey, you were shaking your head there throughout the end. What was that about?
Yeah, I don't know. Something feels different with the corner mechanics. There was quite a few times that we bumped into one another and just wiggled and kept going. And then there at the end, I wrecked doing the exact same thing. So it just feels different. I don't know. I didn't do anything that seemed like I should have wrecked there based on what we had done earlier. So I don't know.
I don't believe anything has been changed in that regards in the latest production patch, but Casey Shum coming through that one. Heartbreaking crash, nonetheless. Perfect until the end there. It was good racing between you and Timothy. Good sportsmanship. Good entertainment from both of you. On the other side of that equation, we don't have Mansuni in the stream yet. DK, we should look to get you in the stream. But Timothy, I mean, that last lap. Do you see? Your celebration when Casey crashes is bigger than when you won the Derny Cup just an hour ago.
I wouldn't say nah, but kudos to Mansuni. Wow, what a race! Yeah, I think me and Casey were too bothered with each other, and he played it very well, very nicely done by Mansuni. And another thing, where was Sebastian in that race? I didn't see him in the end. I don't know.
Well,
but yeah.
Go, before you continue on that one, Sep, where were you in that last race?
Didn't I was in front? Nobody saw me because I was so far away.
I think now you mention it, I think I saw you out in space somewhere, but I think it may have been space off left to the actual track. It was like off the side or something. So I'm not sure what happened there, Seb. But Seb, how do you choose what facial reaction to do when? Because whenever we come to you, it's like Jim Carrey has joined the stream.
Huh? That's just me.
Oh, it's too good, Seb. It's too good. I mean, what's it like in the Kuhn household? Like, does your kids just go, Dad, I mean, what is this? Like, do they just roll around the floor laughing?
Yeah, they're laughing at me.
With you, probably. But Seb, this last race coming up, Barnyard Velo. It's heavily contested time. You know, when you look on the leaderboards, heavily contested at the top. How do you feel about this on a controller?
It's very special because you get so fast in such a short time. I think I will crash every lap.
Wow, bold words. You think you'll crash more than Electric Fidget?
Yeah, it's 10 laps, so I have crashed just 10 laps. So there's more chances to crash.
Well, good luck in this one, Seb. We've heard from Timothy, we've heard from Casey, we've heard from Seb. We still have Homer in the broadcast, and I think it's time to go see if he's found a name for the Homer class. Homer, what did you come up with?
Oh, I don't know. How about Awake and Alive, We're Not Dead Yet?
Love it. I love it. Awake and alive, we're not dead yet. But I reckon if you were to do a class, it would be like 5 hours long. You'd be like, come on, everybody. We're going to write by my tempo for 5 hours. I mean, is that what you'd do?
Yeah, we might try some long rides.
Well, if that's something you guys would like to see, Homer Thompson, definitely great ride leader, class leader. Homer Thompson still riding strong, as we've got one event left here in the just general CADE racing that we do. We bring on the Xbox riders, we bring riders out with controllers, we combine the physical rides, we combine the controller non-physical into one. We have some fun, we chat with some riders, the community as awesome as ever. The scoreboard, not sure why has happened what has happened here, but Mansuni, I mean, rode so strong. He went, okay, we're going to put Mansuni in the lead, but regardless, I think what we're going to do, everybody, and everybody listen up closely, a winner takes all. Whoever wins Barnyard Velo is the winner of Sonel. And that is by executive ruling of the one voice, one commentator that has no ruling usually. We're just going to say, you know what? I think winner of Barnyard Velo wins the Omnium. I think that's fair. Mixed with chat, and we'll see. I think also, if Mutt KG agrees, we'll make it so. Mutt KG is always, you know, the voice of reason. You've got Jesper Anchor on this shoulder, you got Mutt KG on that shoulder, you know, Devil and Angel. So we'll see. If Mutt KG agrees, we'll call it. So here. So racing still going on. 57 seconds to go until the racing comes to an end. Timothy pointing to his ear. Is there something wrong with your left ear, Timothy?
Yeah, I can't agree with this, but tell Victor to join us. I want to beat him.
Timothy's saying Victor should join in on the racing here. We don't currently have a controller in the broadcast room, but you can beat him in spirit. Best time 19 seconds and 0.07 seconds.
Nah, there's drafting. It's not possible to beat that time here in this event. But yeah, winner takes all, eh? Okay, that's fine. Let's do it.
Well, you gotta do it. Let's see, 20 seconds to go here. I think Mutt KG says yes, Jesper, and a smiley face. So we will do so. Victor says, Mutt KG says, come on, Victor. We will see the racing begins here in 3 seconds time as Timothy gets underway. So if I reset the scores here, there we go. Well, now we reset the scores and it works again. So the scores are up, but I think we may still keep it the same. So we've reset the scores and they work. Timothy Mansuni, first and second now out on map. Casey has gone down. Wim's gone down. So the scores have been reset and they are in fact correct now on the screen. But I still think Mutt KG winner takes all. We can have one score on the Omnium, but I think Barnyard Velo with the Jeopardy introduced here. We'll see. Mansuni though is pushing it 9 points down on Timothy on the overall. Sebastian is there as well as Timothy moves on through 52 kilometers an hour, and Timothy slams into the sandbags. He goes on through, hits into the obstacle ahead of him. Mansuni goes down. Sebastian is winning. Sebastian Kuhn, 1.8 kilometers to go here. He pushes on through, and you know, Frank Garcia, physical rider here, is in second place, 5th on the scoreboard, beating a few of the Xbox controllers. So I can't even say it. Slow and steady wins the race. I was trying to say calm and steady there for a second. I'm not sure why I was saying that. But Frank, second place. He's got Mansuni. He's got Timothy. As Mansuni crashes again. And as I say that, Frank goes down. And with that, Timothy goes back into the lead. So being gifted there from the riders around him. Sebastian Kuhn. Timothy with a wave of a finger. Timothy, do you not agree?
Well, Sebastian's still in the lead.
Oh, if we go for winner takes all, which I can definitely agree with. So even though
we did, it's only fair, but Sebastian will crash anyway.
Oh, Homer Thompson in third here as well. The physical riders coming out to strong performance here on Barnyard Velo. So Timothy is the current leader. So let's go with it. Winner takes it all here on Barnyard Velo. That means he's going to catch up now. Seb, Timothy is saying that you're going to choke this one. What do you want to say back?
A good choke. Very good choke. but it will not happen.
Oh, Sebastian Kuhn saying, good
I will
joke.
take- I will take the win.
Oh, I like it. Well, Timothy did say winner takes all here, so Timothy has got 4 seconds to make up. Seb confident in himself here. So Timothy, 1 crash down already. He's 3 seconds down with, oh, he gets so close to the sandbags once more. He pushes on through here. 1 second is the gap now. 500 meters. It's 2 laps. Homer goes down again. They've agreed to winner takes it all out on the map. Timothy has to go through all the congestion. Rick goes down. Timothy slides to the right here. He's got Sebastian Kuhn in his sights, but can he do it? He has to go 2 seconds quicker in 1 lap. I don't believe it is possible, but we will see. Sebastian Kuhn on the outside. Timothy is catching him with quantum shift. This is to the line here. Quinton Timothy versus Sebastian on the finish line. Sebastian Kuhn as Timothy Tamont crashes at the very end. I don't even think Timothy has finished. Timothy hasn't finished yet. There he goes. Winner takes it all. It is Cognition's Sebastian Kuhn. Wim crashes on the final corner. Mansuni comes on through. Casey comes on through. And on that note, everybody, that is Barnyard Velo. So close from Timothy, but Sebastian Kuhn takes the victory. Casey with an early crash. Shout out to Homer. Shout out to Frank. Shout out to Rick, to Tammy, to everybody who rode physically in this zone. Massive kudos as we've got Homer Thompson finishing it up here. DK says third is okay. Mansuni third K. You can be proud of that one. Let's roll the instant replays. But as we do so, Sebastian, he said you were going to choke. You said that was a good joke. In the end, you're the one on the top of the podium. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
Well,
Where
we need
was
some...
Timothy?
How
often did I lap Timothy?
I think 4
2 or 3
times. Yeah, I think 4 times.
At least 4 times.
I reckon so as well. Timothy, do you have any remark here to the end? We saw you getting lapped 4 times. That was quite a sad performance.
Yeah. GG to Seb. He won fair and square. Yeah, he's the best. Let's keep it at that. Let's keep his ego high, and then next week we'll crush him. Don't worry.
Well, Timothy, closing that one out. We've got all the replays, all the highlights, everybody. That is Zone L coming to a conclusion. Bye, everybody who's been watching. We've got the highlights of the Derny Cup in case you missed it earlier. Just to remind yourself here, it was a good zone here in Zone K, as it was Hive Hornets cycling up Terminal Velocity, Night and Morning, Kayla and Jennifer, also known as Queen Bee, the Cogmasters, and Velocity Haas and Skill Pel. Unfortunately, only half of them. They were racing for $30 for first place across the Omnium, 20 for second, 15 for third, 10 for fourth, and 5 for fifth. It was Timothy Tamont taking the first race victory, as once more utilizing a gameplay mechanic that he's found that moves himself out to the side here and up as we get the shake of the head. It wasn't Team Cycling Hub's day out there. Shake of the head from Quinton Molinez as we now see again Temple Run. Longest race of the day. 3 laps in total. Very tactical race here. So you see Carl Axel Sander with the first mistake on Temple Run as he went down. Then the carnage of the Queen Bee riders, Jennifer and Kayla, taking each other out in the same corner. Can you believe it? And then Sebastian Kuhn, I mean, winner of Zone L and the unofficial Xbox Championships for the day on CVRcade. Bring it out here, as Alison Kubota says in the chat. Great job, everyone. Some epic skills being demonstrated today, and I can agree with that. Glenn putting in an amazing performance here on Tempo Run, really giving some breathing room to the Hive Hornets, as you see Carl, you see Timothy pass left and right. But story of the day, definitely the skill, like the overall skill level is rising dramatically. We saw Jeff really coming to the forefront, Vibeke come to the forefront, several riders here really bringing it up. Casey and Quentin back to the drawing board for them in the Derny Cup. After winning last week, they have to go back and figure out what do they do for week 4 as Quentin gets blocked a few times here today on by Timothy Tumon. But back and forth, plays were being made, both positive and negative. But you do always see when there's a massive, speed differential from 70 k's an hour down to third, you call it out. Carl Alexander crossing the line in second. Carl has really been getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And it's important to realize that this is just the seeding rounds. It's the open rounds of the CVRcade Solo, Derny, and World Cup. And this is all leading into a seeding. It's all about the grand finale in week 8. We're looking at who is trending upwards in form and who is trending down. You can't be strong all times. You've got to peak for the right moment. Quentin peaked perfectly for the season 1 finale. So did Casey. Now we're looking here in season 2. We're midway through the racing next week, and we're seeing a few riders who may be peaking early, some who might be saving something left, but it is a long racing season. As once more we see Quentin on a keyboard, and he cannot believe it. The finish line on Cypher or a loop. How about this? Look at the scoreboard. It changes so many times. Christian Weidman winning it. Christian, by the way, great performance on this one. And then you got Vibeke coming back. You've got Glenn coming back here at the very, very end. As Carl Axel Sander moves on through. Again, a strong performance from Velocity night and morning. It was great to have Jeff on audio as well throughout the majority of it to catch it. So this is, of course, the CVRcade Derny Cup. As you're watching Timothy Tumont, physical, non-physical, combined together. And as a team, they've got to score points. They've got to race together. And their combined score is what counts in the Omnium overall. Last minute of highlights here as we see Barnyard Velo. 10 laps. This was the beginning of the comeback. If Jeff Rooney hadn't made a mistake here, if he hadn't crashed the first time, there was a legitimate chance of Velocity night and morning making the upset at the very, very end. Great racing all around from everyone, dodging the sandbags, dodging the barn door. And here is the final nail in the coffin. Jeff hits the sandbag straight on, can't believe it. And that leaves Timothy on the front here to finish it out for the Hive Hornets, who preliminary take week 3 victory in the CVRcade Derny Cup. Do remember we got more racing tonight. Aaron Starlin joins the broadcasting crew. He will be broadcasting on some Xbox racing tonight, so make sure to clear your schedule. Be back in 7 hours for more racing, as we're going to see Daniel LeBlanc and a few others come back and race some more on Xbox. If you want to join physically, you can do so as well, but that's in 7 hours from now with Zone T. But until then, we'll see ya. Oh, I don't think we're ready yet. I don't think we're ready. We're ready now. See ya. But no, Beth, your goes crashing down. Termination, the suffering, the ability to... And she's unleashed everything in this attack. See just how much that win means to him. All the marvels. Kayla versus Allison, and to the line. Kayla Laguna takes the victory.